What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Monkey Mind Journal. I'm your boy Woozy, and as always, if you enjoy this podcast, do me a favor, share it with one person. You don't gotta like, you don't gotta comment, you don't gotta rate. Just do me a favor. If you enjoyed this, share this with just one person. That's all I'm asking. One person. I'm about to put my shades on just because the sun is about to be in my face in a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, makes me feel a little bit cooler. But as a caveat, as a disclaimer, I do want to say something about this episode. This is probably going to, well, I shouldn't say that, but this is the lightest episode I've probably done so far as things that I want to touch on. I literally have one personal story and one gym, or one major gym and a bunch of things that I got from the gym that I'm going to share today. And that's just really how my week's been, if we being honest. But before we get into all that, I do want to get into the song of the week. And the song of the week is Good Day by Forrest Frank. Also, hold on, take a pause. Before I hopped in, I realized I kind of hopped into it, just kind of rushed into it, but how are you doing? How you feeling? You feeling good? If not, I hope it gets better, and it will get better. And if you are, I hope it continues to get better. Sorry, I wanted to ease into it. I don't know why I felt like I just rushed into it. But back to the song of the week. The song of the week for me is Good Day by Forrest Frank. Honestly, it was a different song. It was a song by Pine Grove that I was really enjoying, which is a band that has been out for a while, but they recently had some success on TikTok for the song called Need To. But their older stuff is really enjoyable for me. But that was all they got swept by Forrest Frank. My dad sent me a YouTube short of Forrest doing a freestyle. And honestly, I don't know if he was truly doing a freestyle or he just did the video for content. But in the freestyle, he basically asked the dude for 3 words. He was gonna make a song out of it. And that's where I heard the first snippet of Good Day. And then my friend Ariel, shout out to Ariel, happened to be playing the song the next day, and it's been stuck in my brain ever since. So I feel like I would be doing a disservice to the song if I didn't choose it as Song of the Week. It's definitely Song of the Day, the last 2 days, Song of the Weekend, but I give it the whole week just because of that, because it's a nice, positive, upbeat song. Forrest Frank got great vocals. I wish I could play a little bit of it, but as always, I'm gonna put the link in the description, or if you get these emails, I'm gonna put the Spotify link at the top as always, so you guys can give it a listen. Really, really good song. As soon as you hear it, I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna play it about 4 or 5 times. Honestly, either you're gonna play it 4 or 5 times, or you're gonna hate it. Let's be real. But nice upbeat song, nice feel good song. One of those songs that you can play anytime you want. Really enjoyed it. Probably gonna listen to it on the way home. I'm at the park today. If you can't, for people who aren't watching the video, I'm at a park today. Hope it's not too much noise. A little uncomfortable because I see a group of people walking my way. So that's fun when, still trying to get more comfortable with being a quote unquote content creator. I don't feel like I truly am one just because I make a lot of content, or I make enough content, but I don't know. I think the validation point for me to be a content creator will be making money from my content. Till I get to that point, I probably won't claim that title. But yeah, right now, just sitting here in the park, recording in public, I just felt like getting out of the house. I've cleaned my room. I've organized my room where it feels larger, but I just feel crowded. I feel stuffed up in the same place. So really just trying to get out the house. I like being in it. It's good. The openness, the vastness, a lot of It's good weather today. Allergies are acting up, as you can hear me sniffling, and you might hear a little stuffiness in my voice, but nonetheless, we here. Um, I think this is a good point to get into the week, and my week has been challenging. Is the word I would use. Very challenging. It's been funny because I'm trying to think. Basically, how my week started, if we don't count Sundays, going back to work, it was just like, well, my week has just basically been a bunch of obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Like Sunday, even a Sunday, when it came to washing my clothes, for whatever reason, every wash machine in my laundromat was being used at the same time on Sunday. And granted, it was also partially my fault because I was washing a little late. I'll take accountability for that. But it was just wild to me that every wash machine was being used on top of every dryer. So I think it was one person, if we're being honest. Which they out of pocket for that, if so. But that's how my week started. And I'm like, no big deal. I'm just going, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to do it during the week. So the week, my first 2 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, my coworker wasn't there. Technically my manager wasn't there. So I had to fill that role, which it's not the biggest deal, but we got a new person. So it's kind of like trying to do my job while also trying to teach somebody to do their job at the same time. And actually, shout out to her. She did a great job on those 2 days. She really held it down, and did a lot more than she does during the week, honestly. No disrespect to her, but gotta give her props because she really held it down. But again, just having all that on one person kind of sucks. You know, it's one of those things where you can't leave for lunch, so your lunch kind of doesn't exist. Like, you have to make sure you stay there to make sure everything's good. But it went as smooth as it could be. It's just a little bit emotional taxing. Wednesday, I did a sale for some of the equipment that we sell. It was over $13,000, so that was a plus for me, and it felt like a plus. You know, that was kind of overshadowed by, you know, just somebody making like, when in moments like that, me personally, I'm not looking for praise, but, you know, I'm looking to celebrate with the people around me, specifically the people who I work with. You know, a sale, like if we offer the same company, a win is a win for everybody. So kind of looking for that, and didn't receive that, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of sucked. And I think it only sucked because I was seeking it. And then the next day I went and did, failed to mention on Wednesday, I also fell off my bike. Bad. Like you can't, like, it's hard to show it for the people on the video, but on the other side of my bike, I completely went sideways, trying to lean too deep into a turn, and just, the bike went out from under me, tore up one of my jackets, scraped the handlebar, scraped the bike a little bit. But I ain't gonna lie, I cackled the whole time. I felt bad because, actually, let me tell the story. So I'm going to work, and I'm a speed demon. I'm gonna be real. Like, and I have an SUV right now, and the SUV, I'm not a speed demon because it's just so big and I ain't trying to hurt nobody. But when I have my car, when I have my electric skateboard that I have at the house, with this electric bike, when I have my moped, I am the type of person to really push it to the limit. I'm going off the beaten trail. I'm not trying to stop. I'm a maneuverer before I'm like brake. So I like, if somebody's brake checking me, what I'm gonna do is swerve around them, if that makes sense. Like, that's just how I am naturally. So that being the case, anytime I'm moving on vehicles, that is my inclination, unless it's a big vehicle like our pickup truck at work, or my SUV, or like when I used to do catering in the catering van. I'm not whipping, you know, things that are dangerous not only to myself but to other people. With that being said, I'm riding my bike, I'm in the flow state. Hit a turn, kind of leaned a little bit more than I thought I could. I'm like, okay, get a little cocky, start to feel yourself. You're testing the boundaries. So I made this one first lean. Now I'm going into my complex or where I work at, and the complex I'm working at is like a sharp turn. It's not too sharp, but you can take it sharper than it should be. That's where your boy Daredevil Woo comes in. That's exactly what I do. Your boy coming in for the turn, just like leans in, and as you lean in, it's hard to explain the feeling, but you literally just feel the bike stop moving, and the bike is like, if I have the bike between my legs, the bike is just going out from under my legs forward, and I'm now on the ground, just sliding, and I'm plow, 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 like face first on the ground. And first thing you would think is like, you be into shock or you be nervous, stuff like that. I do what I do. I start cackling. I'm busting up laughing. And as I'm sitting there laughing, getting up, all I see is this guy just pow, bust out the office door that was right there. Are you good? I saw everything. Now I'm embarrassed. And when I'm embarrassed, guess what I also do? I laugh. So now I'm screaming of laughter. This guy's over here, like, he not panicked, but he nervous, like, dang, this guy just crashed. Like, I hope he all right. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just, just took the turn too close, and this is what come with it. He's like, oh, I understand. I've been there before, so I want to make sure you're good. So now I'm walking. Now I'm doing the walk chain, because my chain then popped off my bike, so I can't hop back on it. So now I'm walking this bike back to work, because I gotta kind of speed it up, because I gotta clock into work. So now I'm walking to work, and they're just like, when my friends, when my coworkers see me, he hears me laughing, sees me, starts laughing. And again, you can see it as a negative or whatever. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. I tried to find the security cameras to see if I could find the video, because I really wanted it for me, but I couldn't find it. Like, I just saw myself walking back, and that's not as funny. I was trying to see what I looked like falling off, because I just think that would be good. I wanted to ask that guy, but sometimes I do get a little shy. I can't lie, I get a little shy. So I didn't ask him, but nonetheless, that's what it was. But anywho, that was my Wednesday. So that was, you can see that, you can take that for what it is. Thursday was the day that, and this is where I'm gonna get into the lesson for the week. Thursday, I decided to go out and do some sales calls. And when, I've had some standoffish people when it comes to doing sales calls, but I haven't had no people where they're just like, like just dickheads. And one thing about going to do cold calls is they're kind of tough for me for two reasons. One, I'm new. Two, I'm by myself. Being by myself just makes it, I don't know, it's like, I don't need anything from the other person, but you want to you want some form of camaraderie when you're going through like some of the, it's a awkward situation, but sometimes it can just also be like, people just could be rude. So I go to this place, place that we do business with as far as buying parts, but I'm like, why don't they use us as service? So I went in there, asked for a service manager, and already off rip, you could just tell the energy's tilted. I go ask service manager, oh yeah, he's over there. Do you want to speak to him? As I look in his office, there's including him, probably like 5 people in there. And his desk is a fucking mess. Sorry for my French. His desk is a freaking mess. So that already is like, eh. And because I get nervous, I'm I'm just nervous in general, so I got this nervous energy. So I go in there like, hey, how's it going? And he's instantly into like, yeah, what do you want? Type energy. Like, he didn't say that verbatim, but like what's going on? So I tell him like, yeah, my name is Najar. I'm with this business, and I was just wondering if you'd be interested in these services, this and stuff like that. Hand him the information card. This information card goes, you work on this and that? Yeah, we work on those. I just wanted to offer. I just feel like because the service you guys do, you could use this or whatever. He goes, He goes like this. If you can't see, for people who aren't watching the video, I'm gonna explain it. But he's basically holding my card, holding the information card in his hand, looking at it for probably like 30 seconds. Grabs it, throws it forward in front of him, like throws it on his desk forward in front of him. Yeah, if we ever need something, we'll give you a call. So, and then goes straight to typing. Says, go have a good one. Don't got the look of interest in his face, nothing like that. Cool beans. So I'm like, oh, okay. I kind of shrugged it off, so I walked out, trying to shake it off. I walked to my car and I realized, damn, I didn't ask me if he had a card. So again, the experience was bad, but I'm like, oh, let me go back and just get a card from him, just so I can have contact information. I can probably email him later, whatever. I walk back in there. I'm like, hey, do you happen to have a card? This motherfucker looks at me with the face of disgust and goes, non-verbally shakes his head at me. No. So, and then just goes back to his computer. So I'm just like, okay. So now I'm walking out, not necessarily with my head down, but I feel a ways. Not gonna lie, I feel a ways. I'm trying to shake it. I walk to the car, start the car, take my notes. Taking my notes on what I told him, his demeanor, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm driving, and you know that feeling when you're driving and like, or just anytime that something's bothering you, like you're trying to convince yourself something's not bothering you, but it's actually bothering you. Like, it was one of those situations where I was trying to convince myself it wasn't bothering me, but it was definitely 100% bothering me. Like, no question about it, 100% bothered. And as I was thinking about that, I did two things. One, I prayed, because always put it on him. But two, I just sat and reflected on it, and I thought to myself, and this is the lesson that I got from this. And it applies to this situation, but it also applies to the situation the day before when I got the sale, and I was looking for some kind of like camaraderie or like mutual like excitement from other coworkers. This is my lesson. It's especially when dealing with people. It's never personal, but it's always personal. I'll say that again. The lesson is it's never personal, but it's always personal. And I explain what I mean by that. A lot of times when I come to deal with people and I have a negative interaction with that person, it's never personal. That means it's never personal to me. It never has anything truly to do with me unless, you did something per se. If you've done something neutral or positive and somebody treats you in a negative way, my first thought is that, or first thought I try to remember is never personal. It's never personal. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with who Najar is, how I grew up, my background, what I got going on, how I look. Like, none of those things really apply in that moment. But it's always personal, meaning it's always what that person may or may not have what that person may have going on. And that's usually what it is. If a person has a job that they hate, if they might have something going on at home, someone might have just been rude to them before, you never know what a person's going through. And even though it sounds like a simple concept, it's something that we all forget, is that we're all human and we're all people living this life and we're all just doing what we're doing, you know? So that was like a lesson that really helped me in that moment and realizing like I was taking it personal. I'm feeling like, dang, this dude like dissing me. Like this dude is like, you know what I'm saying? Like being a dickhead to me. Like what did I do to deserve this? But after having that thought, I had to realize like, no, it's not me. Like I didn't do nothing to him. If anything, I probably was the nicest person to him that day. But the space that he might have been in, I don't know if he liked his job. I don't know what he got going on at home. I don't know nothing. All that had to do with how he is and how he see the world and what he got going on. And I want to pass that on to y'all because it's easier said than done. But if we can remember that when we dealing with people, that a lot of times the way that they deal with us, especially in the negative connotation, has nothing to do with us, has nothing to do with our self-worth, has nothing to do with what we may have did in that moment. It's all what they got going on in their head. You know, it could be mental issues, whatever. I think we can save ourselves a lot of mental strain, a lot of mental stress, and just bring a lot more peace. Like after that, I was a lot more peaceful. I went and talked to another customer who, you know, was long time, like not a long time customer, but a long time customer who had moved to a different location. So I went and chopped it up to them and, you know, was just happy to talk about how they see the future of their business and, you know, just have a positive aspect about the world and stuff like that. So, you know, it was easy for, you know, with that and what the other things that happened that day, as far as like my tire popping on my bike and just locking myself out of the work site, that guy could have also like been, and he almost was the trigger to like me feeling like I did something wrong, and that's why my day is going like this. That's why I must have did something wrong. That's why he treated me bad. That's why that's why my tire popped. That's why I locked myself out. Like blah 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 blah. And I even said to my friend like, dang, I feel like I'm jumping myself today. And obviously when I lock myself out, I definitely was jumping myself. But yes, it's a lot of those things were just out of my control. Like I didn't purposely pop my tire. You know, that guy, I didn't do anything to make that guy, you know, get upset. Like me locking my keys, it's just me trying to, you know, caught up in the issue, trying to fix my tire and stuff like that. So it's like, it just comes with it. And, you know, I really wanted to pass that message on because I feel like that's a good lesson to pass on. And on top of that, I wanted to like talk about, with it being a bad week last week, you know, almost fell back. With it being a hard week last week, it could be easy to like, you know, I could chuck that, and I almost thought about it going into this podcast, like I could chuck this whole week up to a loss, you know. But as I just reflected more and ignored the negative part of Thursday, you know, Friday, you didn't know, but Friday I stayed home because after fixing my bike, I had to ride my bike home late that night. And riding home at late, I didn't have my clear glasses, so I couldn't wear my shades. So I just got straight allergies, like straight pollen to the eye socket, straight to the cornea, bro. Eyes was on 99. I'm actually gonna post a picture right here. Like if you're watching the video version, I'm about to put a picture right here. And if you get the email, I'm actually gonna put a picture in here in the emails. You can see how bad my eye look. I look crazy. You know what? What they say? What's the word? What's the warning they put? Not NSFW. Like caution, sensitive content. Like I'm about to put a smacked picture of myself in the description, so you can see how bad my eye was looking. It was pretty bad. Allergies were going 90. Allergies on 99 that day. But with the allergies, I stayed home on Friday, and just took the time to like, you know, I called it getting my life together. You know, clean my room, hung up a new whiteboard, bought some things that I needed. Really just enjoyed the day for the most part. Like, I had a little fever at the beginning, but just drank a lot of water and kept myself healthy. And just really got just kind of like reset a little bit. And really, as I look back on my week, other than Thursday, I really had a good week. Like, had a good laugh on Wednesday. Thursday again, chopped it up with good people. Posting that picture of my eye looking crazy on Instagram and having people caption it was probably some of the most fun I've had on Instagram in a long time, and got me inspired to do more, be more interactive with my social media. We're so caught up in trying to post what we think and stuff like that, and not allowing other people to also, sharing the experience. So that was really, I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. Yesterday was Saturday. I'm recording this on Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. So, yesterday was Saturday. So hung out with Ariel, recorded the Special Friends podcast, had a good conversation, really just enjoyed being around those people. Today, went to church, saw my ex, was happy to see her. Also, I was at Chipotle before I came here. I went and got Chipotle, and the lady gave me $5 to just for letting her go ahead of me in line. Like, she didn't ask, but she was walking behind me. I held the door open for her and let her go ahead of me, and she came back in and gave me $5 on top of my order. So, just as the famous, or the late great Nipsey Hussle said, "Don't let a hard time humble us." Like, it's so easy to let the hard week, having the hard week before, like the couple weeks before, where I was just kind of go through depression and still leading, still got the depressive symptoms, but don't really have the true feeling. It's so easy. It's hard for me to keep my disposition positive. But just taking that time to really reflect it, like, man, nonetheless, bro, I really had a good week, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I can't nobody say, like, technically I consider Sunday as the beginning of the week for me, but I'll lump it into next week just to give it some, give it some more padding. Like, last week was a good week for me. Went out and did sales calls, finished that sale, really saw one of the people in our business really see the growth in that person in our business. Talked up with good people. What more can you ask for? And that all could have just been overshadowed if I just let that Thursday get to me. So yeah, I wanted to share that. That's what I wanted to share about my week as far as my personal lessons. Just remember, it's never personal, but it's always personal. Again, it's never you, it's always them. You get me? And be careful with that, but you know what I mean in this context. And within this context, you know what I mean. When it comes to dealing with negative people, it's never you, it's almost always them. We'll say that. And just be careful when you have a hard week or hard day. Try to find the positive, and it's easy for us to overshadow. It's easy for the negative to overshadow everything that's going on, and just trying to take that time and be aware and keep it in the forefront of mind that, there's still positive things that happen during that week. So I want to get into the gym this week. Again, I have one gym basically. Well, it was one podcast by Alex Hormozi. I believe I talked about him before, but Alex Hormozi is a entrepreneur who started a business called Gym Launch, which basically was like a sales system for gyms to help them get business. From that, he pivoted into a content creator and also has an acquisition company that holds a lot of big businesses, a lot of good money businesses, service-based businesses. And he does a podcast called The Game, where he just talks about, gives business advice. And the title of the podcast was confidence is your best strategy. I'm going to put the link below, as always, in the description, or I'm going to put it in the email. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the email. And also, if you've been enjoying it so far, do me a favor. Share the podcast with one person. Please and thank you. But yeah, in the episode, the confidence is your best strategy. He talks about a bunch of different things. Obviously, the overall concept of the show was basically saying confidence comes from experience. So the more you do, the more you know, and the more you know, the more confident you will be. So, at first when you do something, you're not very confident because you haven't done it before. But as you do more of it and get more experience and know more about it, your confidence grows. And he was making that point. So it was 3 things I wanted to touch on from there that I really enjoyed. The first thing was, when it comes to his content creation, he gave like a crazy statistic. And I want to say it's true because he said it, but I need to fact check it. But he said, according to statistics, if you record and post 21 podcasts, you are in the 1%, the top 1% of podcasts. I'll let that sit for a second. If you record and post only 21 episodes, thanks to that persistence, you're in the top 1% of podcasts. Most podcasts, basically 99.9% of podcasts don't post more than 21 episodes, which, as I look at some of this, when I scroll through podcast directories, especially when you get to the bottom, that is definitely true, which is crazy to think about. I never fathomed that thought, never thought about that way, but it's funny because as a Twitch streamer, I remember, I think when I had concurrent, I had average 13 viewers or something like that, I was considered a top, I don't remember the exact number, top 10 at least % of streamers, meaning that more than 90% of streamers don't have more than 13 average views. And, the same thought that I had then, the same thought I had now listening to him. And it was just context is everything. The context is everything. Especially when we try to define ourselves as successful. It's easy for me to be like, oh, I only got 13 viewers on average. I'm trash. I'm not even good. Blah, 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 this and that, whatever. But according to statistics, on Twitch, I'm the best. According to podcasts, Special Friends has 36. I'm gonna post 36 episodes on Tuesday. Has 36 episodes. We're in the top 1% of podcasts. That's just wild to think about. But it's so easy for us to get in our own head because we're comparing ourselves to the top people. I'm comparing myself to people who have over 1,000 downloads. I'm comparing myself to people who have over 100 episodes. And I'm just feeling like I'm a sucker because I don't have that many. I'm not even close. Not realizing that, bro, context is everything. You're not there because you haven't been doing as long as them. Yeah, you don't have that many thousand views because you only have a little bit of episodes. But nonetheless, the fact that you keep pushing through, you will get there. If this is something he said I don't know if he said it in that episode or he said it in another episode. I think he said it in this episode, but if not, it might have been another episode where he says, as long as if you look at the top people in your niche, so if I look at Joe Rogan or, anybody that I look up to in the podcast game, as long as I'm doing the same thing that they're doing, and really you should be, in his words, you should be doing more just because you're behind and you want to be ahead. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Sorry about that. As long as you're doing the same thing, if not more, over time you will get there, if not farther, because you're doing what's necessary. that person's always going to be ahead of you, which is why he recommends you to do more so you can catch up and go ahead of them. But if you don't care about that, care about just being consistent, if you're doing the same things that they're doing with success and getting better, you gonna make it there, bro. Like it's just math. Like it has to happen. Like it can't not happen. And that was the same thing. Like when I was thinking about Twitch, like I remember I was thinking about myself, like, man, I can never imagine having like 100 concurrent viewers and stuff like that. But I'm thinking to myself, like, if I was doing 13 in 2 years, over time, if I kept doing it and getting better at my craft and becoming more interesting and playing the right games and doing all different things, I was gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I was, studying the game, applying what the best are doing, and trying to do it to the best of my ability, and constantly, doing more, it's just a matter of time. So that was the first gem I got out of that. Was just like, it's about the long game, especially when it comes to content creation. It's about the long game. It's about doing what you're supposed to be doing, which then leads into the second gem that I got from it, where he talks about changing your success metric. Instead of seeing success as the outcome, see success as the effort. And what he means by that is, instead of, it's very interesting. Instead of thinking about, I gotta sneeze again. Sorry, but that was having a sneeze attack. Gonna have to leave here soon because, man, the allergies tearing me up. It's interesting because when you think about it in that way, it goes back to the first point. It's no point in getting caught up in the outcome, because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with success, it's gonna happen. It's a number game. And that's my favorite thing to think about it, is always, it's a number game. As long as I'm making dope videos, at one point, one video is going to blow up. And when that video blows up, if all my other videos are equally dope, they're also going to rise up to where they're supposed to be. Right now, they're not where they're not. Right now, they're where they are based on where I'm at. But if they're really good videos, and you've seen this happen multiple times, where people make dope videos, their one video will finally blow up, and they'll go back, and those other videos will rise from 1 to 2,000 views to 200 and 3,000 views. Stuff like that. Like, if you're making good stuff, at one point people are going to find the good stuff. I apply the same thing when it was coming to the apparel stuff. When I was doing apparel, I can get caught up in like, oh man, I don't know why I'm investing all this time into like quality garments and trying to invest in these details of these and things like that, and like, why there's some truth to it as far as in the short term, like investing too much because you just only have so much. In the long term, if you've always had quality, when people find your old if people want to buy your old stuff, it's like, oh, this man has always been consistent, but not to get too far on that tangent, when it comes to thinking about the effort, like, that's all you can do. And that's really all success is. I think I've talked about it here before, but Earl Nightingale describes success as the pursuit of a worthy ideal. That's all success is. The fact that you're going after something. The fact that you know what you want and you're going after that. As long as you're doing that, if I know that I want to grow a media company that's called Woozy Media, all I have to do is examine other media companies and apply what they're doing. And if I want to get ahead of them or catch up sooner, I need to do more. I need to do twice as much as what they're doing. So like with these podcasts, like, yeah, my podcast isn't Joe Rogan level. It's not, Joe Budden podcast level. It's not, Brilliant Idiots level. But if which I have already, if I continue to study these people and mimic what they're doing to get to the level of success they're at, it's only a matter of time, baby. Soon we're going to have our first subscriber. We're going to have our first, sponsors and, things like that. And soon, I'm going to be doing it once a week, twice a week. It's just going to happen, like, that's the biggest thing that they're doing that I'm not doing. I'm not posting twice a week. Do I have the capacity to? No. So what can I do? I can post once a week, which is I'm trying to do with the Monkey Mind Journal. So I'm playing him saying that really helped me to be to remember that, like, just make it actionable, not outcome. What should you be doing? And do that. If my thing is I'm gonna make one long form video a week and create 3 to 5 shorts from that, and I keep doing that, and I've seen other people do that, and at least as it says, that's all I gotta do. That's all I can do. Keep focusing on that, and I'm gonna get there. And that's what I have been doing. That's something that I feel like if we all had that mindset, the pursuit will be that much more enjoyable, because then you'll be focused on the actual work instead of, dang, I'm not getting the results that I want. Not to mention you'll also be improving, which will probably make you enjoy a little bit more, because who doesn't like to see improvement? So I think that was like the most powerful gem for me from that. And again, to lead from that to the final one, the final thing I got from it was, instead of thinking about achieving the things, think about it more in the realm, thinking about my future. Instead of thinking about my future as the things that I want, like a house, a nice car, kids, family, wife, this and whatever, thinking about it more in the realm of the person that I need to become, and like going after that. When I was 18, I used to be part of a what do you call it? Sorry, I got distracted by something. When I was 18, I was a part of a multi-level marketing, multi-level marketing thing. Basically, it was Amway, to be specific. And while Amway didn't do anything for me as far as money, one thing Amway did teach me was the power of having a mentor, and the power of having people who have already been through it, giving you the tools you need to succeed. So with that, one of the things that my mentor told me was to write down a list. Take a list, take a piece of paper, and write down all the things that you want out of a woman. Because at times, one of my goals was to, be married young. I'm not young no more. But nonetheless, write down all the things, all the qualities you want in a woman. So it's like, God-fearing, fit, this, that, whatever. All these different things that I wrote down. And then, that's the easy list. Just jot that down quick. And he said, okay, he looks over the list and says, okay, cool, flips it over. Now write down what type of man you have to become to attract this kind of woman. And that's where you get stuck. Or that's where I got stuck. Come on, ooh, got me. Hit me with the Uno reverse card. But with that, it gives you, when I wrote down that list, it's like, well, this is what you should be working on then. If you want a God-fearing woman, how versed are you with the Bible? How deep are you into the Bible? Stuff like that. So, things like that woke me up, and can't say I truly lost that, but again, it's never wrong to remember things like that and apply that to different areas of your life. So when it comes to business, it's like, I want to be, this great leader and this boss and, person who, puts people first and body yada yada yada. Well, or I should say, I want these different things. I want a great business where people enjoy themselves, and all these different things that I want. You want to be able to live on my own and hire my friends and all these different things. Like, okay, what type of person do I need to be? You need to be reliable. You need to be consistent. You need to be diligent. You need to be you basically need to exude leadership and have a standard of excellence and stuff like that. So, basically the whole thing was just about, when I think about all the gems attached together, like, it really is just about gaining more experience. Like, instead of getting hung up on where I want to be, It's more about being aware where I am, where I come from, and what things I could be doing to gain the experience that I want. If I'm trying to become, a football player, it don't make no sense for me to play soccer. If I want to be a mountain climber, it don't make no sense for me to swim as training practice. Like being aware where we're trying to achieve and mimicking the efforts of those who come forward. Like, we got Will Smith always talks about he's happy for people to decide to go through his life and sift through everything, because that's what he used to do when he was a kid, of the people that he wanted to be like. And he felt like it's his duty, now that he's in his position that he's in, to allow people to see his life openly, so they can decipher and take the lessons from it. So, a lot of great people are that same way, where you can go and find what they did and what they're still doing and apply that now. So, yeah, that's pretty much where my head was at this week, as far as like leading up into this podcast. The week was rough. I pushed through, highly blessed and highly favored. The week ended perfectly, in my opinion. Very happy, very blessed. Excited for the future. Excited to get to work, with a little beat up about feeling alone and doing this stuff alone. But it's like, on the other side of it, I'm just gotta be happy for the opportunity, like gonna be finishing up my that contract I have with the 10 episodes, like celebrating that victory for what it is. Like, dang, bro, I really never thought I'd see the day where somebody would pay me, quote unquote, what I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? And even then, like, I still, quote unquote, what I might not say as I'm worth, but for someone to see value in me to pay that amount of money that they paid, like, is beautiful. And it doesn't validate me in any sense, but it lets me know that I'm going in the right direction, because it's going the way that it's going towards what I'm looking for to achieve. So excited to get back to it. Excited to, hit this next week with a lot of positives. And with that, I want to tell you guys, I love you. I appreciate you. You're beautiful. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're on your way. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Also, do me a favor, if you haven't already, check out the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. And like I said before, if you enjoyed it, do me a favor, send it to send it to one person who might enjoy it. That's the only way we can grow. I really enjoy this podcast. I enjoy finding these gems and sharing the gems. I enjoy reflecting about the week. And if you care to as well, comment how your week was going, or the gems that you learned from the week, or reply to this email and let me know how your week's been going and everything's going on, Start that dialogue. As always, I'm your boy Woozy. This is the Monkey Mind Journal, and we out of here. Peace.